Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and Thomas Hearns. Legends, whose four-way rivalry defined one of the greatest eras in boxing history. Relive their decade of dominance in a new Showtime sports documentary, The Kings, a 4-part series now streaming on Showtime.
This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular, dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
You got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this midweek edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd, and here with me I have Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
Woo, I'm chilling, man. How's your back?
What? My back? What?
Yeah, you know.
Where are we going with this?
You may have to do some carry job tonight.
Oh,
but,
okay. I didn't say, hey, bro, don't ask me about my back. What the fuck's going on? I was like, I'm confused. What? Okay, yeah, so... NXT Takeover in Your House 2021. That's the whole date for it, because last year they did it in your house and they had to differentiate it. I don't know, whatever. But we're gonna get to that, and then we're also gonna get to Stardom's pay-per-view that is in 8 hours, something like that. Let's start off with Takeover. I had been far behind on all the wrestling I've had to catch up on. I've done a lot of catching up on between Stardom and AEW and NXT, and I have just caught up on the last, I think it's four episodes of NXT, and to see where they were in their mid-cycle for TV, and to see where they ended up at, it's fucking mystifying. I do not understand how we ended up with this as a card for a takeover. This screams to me, we are not giving y'all any hot shit until we have actual fans in the building. Like, that's what this card looks like to me. Like, yes, we have all of our main eventers aside from Finn Balor. Like, we have Cross, who we've been pushing as a champion. We have O'Reilly, we have Gargano, we have Balor, or not Balor. We have Dunn, and we have Cole in this match. And we're gonna have a 5-way, and they'll just have a great match around where it's basically 4 just of the best wrestlers in the world, plus Cross as just this big monster that'll do all his stuff he does well, and that should be a great match. The build to it absolutely fucking sucks. Rich, do you have any thoughts on this stupid ass build? Because I'll go through it piece by piece.
Like, I remember when this was announced, I was like, what the fuck are they doing? And you got those 4, you got, I guess, 1 baby face in the match and 4 heels.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Very.
The only thing I can think of is they're trying to clear out the old guard of main eventers by just having Cross beat them all like at once, so someone new can step in. But I don't know who the fuck someone new is, so maybe that's not the case, but that's just like the idea I had about it. A 5-way match, whatever. Like
like think about how like uninterested we were in, except for understanding what they were trying to do with Orange Cassidy in the 3-way, and how we were like, you have a pay-per-view, you have only a finite number of pay-per-views, and you have a fucking title belt that's your number one gimmick to try to coax people into buying your or watch your show, right? Why on God's green earth would you muddy that up by saying that we can't figure out one contender? We came out with multiple ones. This is worse. They have twice as many contenders as AEW did for their title match. That's stupid.
I don't know when the last time Adam Cole won a match. They changed his music, so he's just like missing that. The Kyle O'Reilly shit is flopping from what I hear. That Cool Kyle shit, like that shit is whack.
The Cool Kyle shit has been done in like a month, but yeah, sure.
Okay. Good. It's whack. So they ended that shit.
Like they killed that shit immediately. And remember, I was telling you about like, yo, bro, like he has too many gimmicks on, like the denim jacket and the glasses and the fedora is like you can wear 2 of those. You can't wear all 3. Like he wore that one time and then like he basically got rid of all of that. So, that Cool Kyle shit was like a 1 week thing.
Look, at least you got your Pete Dunne versus Johnny Gargano match.
Oh, fuck you. The worst part is while they're having their triple threat contendership match before Adam Cole just blows it up, right? Like Cole and O'Reilly and Dunn are in there, and it's just awesome. Like it's just like all these awesome spots and everything else, and they're working hard and everything, and it goes like 18-20 minutes, something like that. And then out of nowhere, Adam Cole just runs in with a chair and beats all 3 of their asses. They all had some fight in them, but it's like these 3 people that are all deserving contenders, because one just was the North American champion, one buzzsaws through people and has a goon like Dunn. The other one is O'Reilly, who just beat the former NXT champion on the last pay-per-view. O'Reilly, yes, those are all logical contenders. So who's gonna win? And Adam Cole comes out, who lost the fucking main event last show. Like, nah, I'm in here. Why? Because I hate Kyle O'Reilly. I'm just like, it's such a weak, lazy job of doing that. Like, obviously it's supposed to be cheap, but it's like, we couldn't have like broke this up into like 2 or 3 different matches to come up with something, more palatable as a card. Cause like, we'll get to it, but like I'm sorry, we're gonna have to get to it now. The Mercedes versus Zaya thing is just so weak. It's like, what is it even doing on here? No disrespect to either one, I like both of them, but like on a 2-show build, they got to that, and it's like none of this is earned. It was random. She had Zaya had been off TV from like months, and then like, oh, there she goes. Here's your spot. Like, why? Tony Storm, DMP, sideline.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what happened to that Tony Storm and what's her name, girl?
Shotzi Blackheart.
No.
Zoe Sky.
Yes, or Zoe Stark or whatever.
Zoe Stark, that's right, not Zoe Sky. Zoe Sky is is the indie wrestler. So they had that match 2 weeks ago or last week.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know. Yeah. When I see stuff like this, I always say, oh, they trying to make sure that Performance Center is working, and see this is a make or break. If this shit stinks, like, you may not see her no more.
Bro, yes, that is true. And also the thing is, like, you look at, it's one thing where it's like with Cross and with Raquel at the last takeover, it's like, okay, they made new champions, that's away from the old guard, that's established, fine, whatever. But now that Cross is not in there with Finn Balor, now that Raquel is not in there with Io Shirai, now comes the real test, right? Look. Like, you talk about the real test. What would the real test be? The real test cometh this weekend, because Raquel versus Ember, I've seen that match before. It's actually a really good match, right? That's really a good match. It's actually a really good match. But once you exhaust through Rhea, who's not there anymore.
I was gonna say, I hope Ember Moon doesn't have an off night,
right?
If she does,
right? Because the match with Rhea was we're just big strong women that just beat the shit out of each other. Great. With Raquel and Ember, or Raquel and Io, it's Io, Ember, do everything around her. Do everything around her, right? And she's gonna try hard, and she's gonna lift you and all that kind of stuff. And they have good matches out of all that. My concern is what happens when it's Zoe Stark, when it's Toni Storm, when it's Dakota will bump around for her too as well. Candice will bump around with her too, but it's like they have brought these people in. Saray, who knows when we get to that, but it's like to see that you have that as the women's match, like that's a departure from what we were getting in women's matches and Takeover before. And that's
Blackheart.
As far Shotzi was taken off air for the angle to get Ember into the title shot, because you look at this card and you look at all the title challenges that we just talked about with Adam Cole. Adam Cole has no business being in a title match. Just they had to come up with some bullshit to get him in there to be able to do the thing as opposed to just doing the thing and making it make sense, right? Ember has, like, there is no contender. There is no number one contender for the women's title except for Io in a rematch. They didn't want to do it here, so they decided this is put Ember in here.
New champion, come get a W. That's what this is.
Which is fine. I think it'd be better if it was on TV, but whatever. And you had that with Mercedes and Raquel a few weeks back. So this ain't her first, title defense. But I just wish it would have been somebody more dangerous. Obviously, somebody with the skill, but it's like Ember wasn't focused on that. Ember was focused on the women's tag team titles with Shotzi. And this is how they pulled her into it, which is like, you pulled me into it, like, that's kind of what you want with the babyface get pulled into when they're the champion or whatever else, or to get pulled from chasing after something, not to, like, get pulled into a title shot. It's rarely done this way.
So, like, how did Ember Moon, like, get, like, how did they determine she was the challenger? Did they just, like, announce this, or, like, did she beat anybody? Like,
this is what happened.
What they do?
This is what happened. Raquel and Dakota wanted a women's title shot. Everrise came out and said, "Why are you being so greedy, Raquel? You're already the champion. You're a champion. You're a champion." Looks at Dakota, "You not a champion, which I fucking howled. I've used it multiple times in threads because I just love like the way NXT treats Dakota God compared to some of our friends. So goes back to Raquel and says, "Champion, clearly champion. You not champion." So they got offended and they want Candice and Indy's women's titles, but because of that promo, they acknowledged the elephant in the room, which is like, if there is a contendership list, people above you, Dakota and Raquel, would be Shotzi and Ember. So they had a match, and I forgot how they got out of it, but at the end of it, it was Raquel beating the living shit out of Shotzi and laid her out, like took her out. So, and Ember and Dakota was holding Ember back to where Ember couldn't stop it. So then the next week she's like, I'm going to hold up the show until you come out here and want to fight. They fought for a little bit. Dakota came from behind and beat her down, and then it was Dakota versus Ember this week on NXT, and Ember had her number until Raquel came in and broke it up. DQ, Ember wins VDQ. They go to gang beatdown on Ember. Ember gets Dakota out of there. Raquel goes to give her the choke bomb, power bomb, and Ember turns into a modified Eclipse and then goes to the top ropes and hits the full Eclipse. And then Raquel sold it as if she got shot with a gun, which was fucking hilarious. She sold like she got hit and she never got back up. So that's how they got to this. Was it Ember winning a bunch of singles matches? No.
I was gonna say. Sounds inspiring. Like,
like I get the part where like you're fighting for your friend, but it's like you made this. You made this. You made this.
But it's about the belt. Like, fuck your friend.
Right. So that is a women's match. That is the. I almost feel like we gotta make another pass to the Adam Cole thing, but we'll get to it later, I guess. Or do you want to address it now? Because the Adam Cole thing is just a mess.
Adam Cole's a dork. Like he shouldn't be here anymore.
No. Neither should Johnny.
It's a black mark on a promotion, but like, Triple H had that call this week where he sounded absolutely insane, like just completely had it up to here, frustrated, letting shit slip through that's just like funny.
Go ahead. I think the thing for him that stuck with him is like he has nothing to bounce this off of. He has no fans in the building. Oh, I'm sorry. He has sycophants in the building. He has people that'll root for Austin Theory in the opener against Oni Lorcan in the building.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
He
won't know until he gets.
He leaned on his. I'll say he leaned on his classic, blame the fans, the WWE line, like how they always do. But yeah, like we've diagnosed the problems, like with these people still being here. EO showing back up apparently this week, and it's like, what the fuck do you do with her now? Like you
know what they're going to do? They're going to have
make her
EO
a tag team with Stray.
Oh, so right? No. I was going to say that like. Because I haven't heard anything about her resigning, unless you're aware of it. I
have heard nothing.
Yeah, like her contract comes up this summer, so chances are get her to a Raquel rematch at Takeover. Have Raquel beat her, and then after that they send her off, and then make her and then try to sign her to be an ambassador so she never wrestles again, like how they did Kyrie. I'm imagining that's the plan.
I mean, we don't got to worry about her going back to evil, so like maybe she wants to like stay in America or something.
Would you want her to stay in America?
I don't know. Like I don't like she can't be the champion again in NXT, so it's like
no. But
do something new.
Do something new, like what? Go to the main roster.
Why not? Why not get chased around by Lily the doll? Moonsault on the doll.
I think we can find something more stimulating for the best women's talent in the world to do. I just think there's something else we do. Like, she could go back to Stardom and make and get that pay bump. After she took a pay cut to work in the fucking PC the last year because of the fucking pandemic.
Man, yeah, I don't know because like. It's even bad now. Like, I would say, what would you want to like stay in fucking Florida here? But like, it's kind of getting better. Like, Japan ain't exactly a haven right now with the COVID stuff. But yeah, it's just like all these people, like their arcs ended and they're still hanging around. So,
right.
Like, and I don't know.
And it'd be one thing if it was they have not done a good job with. They've done a good job with elevating people. They haven't done a good job with picking spots for telling people to, all right, we got to put you over here. Like, Johnny has done some really fun stuff with The Way and Candice as well. And I'm trying to think who else. And Ciampa and Thatcher are a good tag team, right? But they still insist on putting Johnny on like every other show.
Mm-hmm.
And like when the last takeover happened, when they took Adam Cole off TV for a couple months or basically 6 weeks, and the same for EO, it was like, all right, well, are they gone? Are they coming back? Are they dead? Did something happen? Like these are the top stars. These are two of the 5 biggest stars in the promotion. They're gone. And they've been gone for a month and a half. Where are they? Are they hurt? Are they on the Keith Lee program where we're not supposed to ask nothing? Like
we're supposed to just shut the fuck up and hope some information comes out.
I'm saying like, but if that is the Keith, if they are, so you know what I'm saying? So where are they? Because it's like they're off the shows because you're trying to elevate people, and who I appreciate for Hit Row, but there's only one Hit Row. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only one Hit Row where it's been a smash success of just great character work and overness or whatever else in the last 6 weeks around some good wrestling. It hasn't been like some, oh my God, like Bronson Reed, he won the North American title. Like, he's not more over than Swerve right now. Hell no.
Yeah. Yeah, Hit Row, nowhere to be found, but hopefully they'll make some type of appearance on the show.
The only thing that can make sense of that is they're waiting until there's a crowd. So they can bring them out there and be like, they got their win or whatever else. They got built for, what would it be, multiple months as opposed to quote unquote hot shotted in like the middle of like basically like a 4-week span or 3-week span. So I really don't have much of a problem with it. And also one of the things I do like about this show is it seems like they are adding factions. Like between that Diamond Mine thing that's gonna come out, I don't know what, but like in Hit Row and Legato and Imperium and The Way, like it seems like they're getting into trios or whatever else, which is funny because of the AEW stuff. Because it's like ain't a problem NXT does it. It ain't a problem when NXT does it, but when AEW does, it's like, oh, there's too many factions. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like,
it's funny. So can we talk about that the Eli Drake ladder match now?
Oh yeah, let's get to it. Eli Drake.
First, I love Ted DiBiase. I have always loved Ted DiBiase. I will always want to see Ted DiBiase in anything. Like, because I feel like his gimmick is like you can bring him in anytime, and I'm talking like in WWE, he should always like every 3 to 5 years somebody should get in trouble and like DiBiase needs to loan them money or something, and they're like a indentured servant to him, or like some shit like he's threatening to buy the company or some shit like that. Like something weird should happen. Yeah. He should always have a storyline.
Yeah, basically like is either DiBiase or Flair are always trying to take the company from Vince. Yeah.
Yeah, like so I love seeing DiBiase. I love seeing the $1 Million Championship. Most of the stuff I've heard about with Cameron Grimes is funny, but LA Knight, no. Like I don't want to see him in a ladder match. I don't want under NXT another ladder match. For the this is for the $1 Million Championship.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's an outlaw title, but I don't know, man. Like I have no worry about Cameron Grimes in this match. We're gonna see if LA Knight really wants to, does he want to subscribe to the EC3 form?
I was thinking the same thing.
Or is he gonna be a bitch? So we're gonna find out.
Look, I mean, given that all he does is basically be The Rock, like I remember that '98 SummerSlam.
Bro, did you hear Mark Henry talk about him? Like he was like, bro, you're not The Rock. Like I was with The Rock. You're not The Rock. Like it's a clip I heard on Busted Open. I was like, wow, someone actually said it. Like,
yeah,
but yeah.
The thing for me is like, if this had been a singles match, fine. But once you make it a ladder match, I'm like, one, I don't know how Grimes get down is with taking crazy bumps and all that kind of shit is, but like, as far as LA Knight, like, he is a good 90s wrestler. You can get some good mileage out of that on a takeover in a singles match. But once you have him do the ladder match, I'm like, you are not using these people to their strengths. Putting LA Knight in a ladder match is not using him to his strengths. Yeah, like, he is a guy that's supposed to get heat, talk shit, and bump around and show ass like crazy for the babyface. You can still do that in a ladder match, but like, that's not... You watch him to be a 90s wrestler and do that kind of theatrics, not try to climb around. And like, that's kind of... Maybe I don't know. It's just a weird styles clash because like, we know what Grimes gets down is in the ring, and we know what LA Knight's get down in his ring. And like, there is a middle point for that in a regular wrestling match that can make sense for me. That like, yeah, that could be entertaining. But once you throw the ladder part in, I'm just like, I don't like it. Don't like it. Just don't.
Yeah. I could have passed on this, but
this wouldn't have been on takeovers in previous iterations. We know this. Like, could it have been like a main event on a NXT show? Sure.
Yeah.
But not like, it's anything with DB. Like,
I'm just glad it's not Dexter Lumis. So.
Yeah, he is better than Dexter Lumis. That is true. So we talked about the Xia Li Mercedes thing. There's nothing really more to add to it, unless I was off air. I don't remember if that was on air or off air. I don't remember.
Like, like the Dragon Lady stuff. Like, go to hell. I have zero interest.
Yeah, it was gone. It was gone, and like the shows were good, and then it's back, and like the last 2 weeks for this build to this takeover was like, what? Why is this stuff happening? Like, you tell me what makes more sense for NXT match, Rich. Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight for Ted DiBiase's blinged out belt, or Thatcher and Ciampa versus GYV in a de facto number one contenders match in a tornado tag match. What sounds more like a takeover-ish ass show match to you?
Yeah, like I don't think there's a question on that, but maybe they just don't want to. I don't know.
They don't want the show to be too good. What?
Yeah, like they. Yeah, man. Like they figure like it seems like takeovers recently, like they experiment with like one match or whatever, and this is it on this one. I'd have to like look at some of the previous ones. Like sometimes it's your additional cruiserweight match, like that one time we got Swerve versus what's the
Santos
Escobar. Like usually that wouldn't have been on the takeover, but they put it there. Now this one is the experiment on this one, and it's like
an outlaw belt,
yeah. Or no, the Mercedes and Xia Li one.
Oh, that one. I mean, my point is, both of these matches are matches that would not have been on TakeOver in previous iteration. Like last 3 years of TakeOvers, those two matches would not have been on there. They would have put that GYV versus Thatcher and Ciampa number one contendership match on there, or de facto number one contendership tornado match on there, and been like, "Yep, go out there and get your 4 1/4 or whatever else to add on to the trios match or whatever else." And they had a 5-way, and then the women's title match, and they'll call it a day.
So we got that match. Bronson Reed and MSK. They're putting all their titles on the line. So this is just in your house nostalgia stipulation. They're trying to do the Diesel and Shawn Michaels shit with Owen Hart and Yokozuna.
I don't remember that at all. What year was that? 95? 94?
Late 95. So Shawn's the Intercontinental Champion. Diesel is the World Champion. Owen Hart and Yokozuna are the Tag Team Champions. They do this gimmick where Owen Hart's injured, so Bulldog wrestles the match for him. They beat Bulldog. Dusty finished that shit, but Shawn and Diesel have the belts for one night, and then they vacated them the next day.
Okay.
But this was like fucking hilarious. Like the Clique has all the belts, like the tag belts, the IC and the world belt. So Bret Hart had to be furious that night. But when it comes to this, and I believe that was like around the time like Bret Hart was wrestling for his fucking jean jacket, if I'm not mistaken, or his ring jacket. So yeah, so this is just goofy. Anytime you put your belts on anything on the line, someone couldn't win them without actually winning them. Whatever, but
I'm fine with it because in storyline, like all of them have been beefing, and they've all been and like MSK has been helping out and been helped by Bronson Reed and Kushida. So whenever those MSK tags with singles babyface champion, like those two in particular, they make sense because they've been helping each other out for months. So like that's fine with me. They've been doing that shit before WrestleMania, or right during the beginning of WrestleMania. So that's fine by me. Like, and they all have beef with Legado because Santos Escobar is a shit stirrer. So that's fine. Like, and they all hate each other. So that's quite possibly the best story they actually have. Like, as far as everything making sense, like they hate each other. They've interfered in title matches, on each other's title matches, and like they're sick of each other. Put them all on the line. Fine, and they're all friends.
I hope we get some good gags. Like, we need to actually have Doc Hendricks on the show. I believe I heard something that he's going to be involved somehow, like Michael Hayes.
He will be. But he was he actually was doing on NXT this week doing almost like he was inside of the live wire deal, like giving you a rundown of the cards. So yeah, he's going to be involved. And last year it was just a picture of Doc Hendricks when Johnny saw a picture of him in his house and then turned the thermometer or the thermostat to 69 in honor of Doc Hendricks on the way out to the to the Keith Lee match.
Does Johnny Gargano get to swing off the house with the rope this year?
I don't know. My question is this: does he come out and lock the key door and then drop the key into his drawers like last year?
I hope not.
Same. Then he pulled it out to gouge Keith Lee's eye, bro.
Like,
if this takeover stinks, they better never do In Your House takeover again.
I was gonna say, the less you can steal from last year, the better. Like,
completely forgettable takeover until that main event. That's really. Actually, I take that back because the Keith, not Keith Lee, the Adam. Oh my god, not Adam. What the hell am I doing? The Damian Priest and Finn Balor match was Raw.
Finn Balor?
Yeah, that match was Raw. So it was a 2-match takeover on a takeover. You know, takeovers used to get like 4 or 5 matches that were all Raw. So, yeah, I mean,
they're gonna have more fans. And they're gonna try to allow like 300 people in there. So,
so it'll be like full sale,
more crowd. Yeah. So. I just hope the NXT lady doesn't yell at me all night, and I just the
announcer. Yeah.
Good God.
So when Justin Roberts or any other announcer yells like Lillian Garcia, like did that bother? I remember you saying this woman annoys you, but like, what did she do? Was it her voice? Like, is she shrill or something?
I think it's her voice trying to. It's like the gruffness. Or whatever. It's like, yo, y'all are clearly making this woman talk like this. Like, there's no way that she kind of speaks like this. It's like, it's like all that shit. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
I mean, all right. Yeah. So I guess at this point,
is Poppy going to be on the show?
Poppy is not going to be on the show. She will be sidelined just next to Toni Storm and Io Shirai in Hit Row.
I feel like we got to start asking this now. Like, will Poppy be there just at random? Triple H down with the Poppy.
Poppy was on the show this week to further the storyline with Indy and Dexter Lumis. They have now found out that it was not Dexter that sent those flowers to Ember and Shotzi. It was Candice that actually gave the flowers under the guise of breaking her heart so that she will focus on helping Candice get these fucking tag titles that she wanted. So that happened. She's like, well, I told him to beat it. Let me go find him and try to make it work out or whatever else. And then this week, Poppy showed up, and it's Poppy backstage with Regal and Triple H. And it is the oldest of old segments they have ever done. You remember how they said that DX was like them? The joke is like they're old now and they're doing like these lame things because they're old. This was straight out that same playbook. They were like, so, you do so much music for you. We want to know when we can get some more music to work for NXT. He's like, well, I'm dropping an album. When are you going to drop the album? Right now. Right now? How? And then she presses the button on her phone, and she's like, wait, so you tell me, so you wait, they're both making these faces like they're fucking astonished. You're like, wait, so you mean to tell me that you, with your phone, can release your album right here, right now? Wow, technology. I was like, you, god damn it, I got you, Triple H.
Can't wait to see Shawn Michaels typing with one finger on Sunday.
That's exactly what. Yes. So once that happened, right, Loomis comes into the picture and then hands her a drawing that says Poppy. Poppy looks at it, smiles, and says thank you, hugs Loomis, and then as she hugs Loomis, remember, Indy's been looking around for Loomis, sees Poppy hugging Loomis, runs off crying, leaves the premises, and so it goes another week.
She may come back with a gun.
Look, you
want to give me a watch NXT?
NXT parking lot.
He's going to the trunk. Like, you want to get me interested in NXT? Let Indy Hartwell show up with a gun, looking for Poppy.
So later on in the show,
they've done this year.
So later, yes. Threatening a mass shooting, yes, that intrigue. Yeah. So later on in the show, Candice, because she's been caught lying about the Loomis thing, is trying to get into Indy's good graces again, says Poppy's here, and Poppy, what you did is unacceptable, and you need to come out here right now and handle it, or I'll see about it in the NXT parking lot. When she mentioned the danger of the NXT parking lot, I howled because we talk about it all the time. Now they're aware of it, and like it's in the storyline. Like it's danger out in the streets. It's danger out in the streets. So Poppy comes out, says, "I'm not a fighter, but I know someone who is."
What are we gonna do? When are they gonna do an NXT parking lot brawl match? And I'm not talking about the Adam Cole versus the Velveteen Dream. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an actual stipulation, like and playing on the reputation, the NXT parking lot brawl, and then you can have people getting whooped out there, and then in the background. Look, I'm not talking about them all. Look, I'm not talking about them, getting their cars together in a circle and going honk honk, like not that.
You knew exactly what I was about to say to you. You saw that terrible ass match. Remember when they ran up the street and then they ran back?
Yes.
What? Why? Oh my god.
NXT parking lot match.
You can argue Adam Cole ain't been right since.
True.
Oh,
immediately lost the title after.
Holy shit. Okay, so they had that match. Let's see. Yeah, that's the only like fully outside match I can recall in NXT in recent years. They had some matches that going out to the parking lot, like the fucking One Final Heartbeat, and they fight on top of the trailer. Or
you know what? Maybe they should just stay away from
right
outside.
Or they had one where like when Cross had first came back from the shoulder injury, where he fought Santos, and Legato kept interfering, and he basically like ripped the fucking car up or a trailer truck up or whatever in the way to getting into the building to finish the match, it's actually a good match, but that's like the only one where they've gone outside and done some shit and then came back, and it was a good match. Like, so you might be right. That might have been the one where like we finally did it. We finally got ourselves a good outdoors match. Leave it alone. But yeah, yeah, I'm more excited for what's happening after this cycle on TV, as far as building towards whoever out of those Ford losers gets another title shot, working their way through that, So, and I'm interested to see what they do with Hit Row. Like Hit Row can come out every single week for all I care, and just talk shit and beat up geeks. Like they're almost like the damn NWO.
Yeah, that's all I'm really trying to see is Hit Row. So
yeah, I'm interested to see whenever this Diamond Mine faction comes out, because like add to these factions, might get a trios title, Rich. Yeah, that's all I got for that preview. Should be a good show as far as wrestling. The direction is a mess after they had fixed the direction, but it was a good 5 months of NXT this year. It was a good opening 5 months. It really was, and then this happened. It really was.
Nobody builds 5G like Verizon builds 5G, because we're the engineers who built the most reliable network in America. And the more you do with 5G, the more building it right matters. The more your network matters. The more Verizon engineers going the extra mile matters. It's us pushing us. It's Verizon versus Verizon. 5G built right from America's most reliable network. Most reliable based on rankings from RootMetrics second half 2020 U.S. report of 3 mobile networks. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and Thomas Hearns. Legends, whose four-way rivalry defined one of the greatest eras in boxing history. Relive their decade of dominance in a new Showtime sports documentary, The Kings, a 4-part series now streaming on Showtime.
I guess there's only one thing left to do then, James. Gotta hit the music.
All right. Stardom.
Before you start, vote for us in the One Nation Radio draft.
Right. I'll put the links in the description for you to go vote. But yeah, check out the cards, make the right decision, be on the right side of history, I'm not copying Baron Corbin promos. What am I doing? This how you lose votes. Never mind that. Just use your that's somebody else's catchphrase. Make a sound decision. Stardom, Tokyo Dream, Cinderella. This is a pay-per-view that has been pushed back 2 weeks after the most important thing, or one of the most important things, the Cinderella tournament got pushed back not once but twice. So they're saying, "Fuck it, let's just do the Cinderella tournament semifinals
live
here on the pay-per-view because we were supposed to use the winner to build towards the pay-per-view match, but screw it, let's just do it here and we'll put that down the line." It stinks for me because I wanted Tam in another banger match, but whatever. I'm sure that whatever they do in this weird undercard will be interesting, but we still have a marquee main event match, which is Utami versus Shuri.
Yes.
Sorry?
I said, yes, that we do.
Yes. So, man, Rich, they have been wrestling over and over and over in quote-unquote outpost matches and in the build for this, for like in trios and in tag matches, all sorts of ways. And I'm telling you, bro, it's finna go off. It's finna go off in a few hours, bro. Like, Shuri out here going deep into the bag in the go home show, the go home Corgan Hall show. She breaks out a spinning hand scissors, which I don't think I've ever seen her do. She breaking out Cazadora Bulldogs. Like, it's gonna be awesome. Like, it's gonna be technique versus power. It's gonna be a lot of just running, hard work, effort, energy, and passion. And honestly, before I thought I hope right, and before I thought that I really hoped that Shuri would win, but now at this point, I don't know if you've seen Utami's gear, new gear, but they basically had Utami and Shuri both come out for the Corgan Hall show where they basically preview what their gear is going to be on pay-per-view. Like Utami's new gear is incredible. But either way, like, I'm at the point now where it's like, they can keep it on Utami. And I mean, I didn't really think they need to get it off her because it's not no big deal. But I thought, like, the way they've built Shuri since she came through the door in Stardom in the beginning of 2020 to now is appropriate for her to win the championship at this point. That is perfect timing. But if whoever wins, as long as they don't give me a draw and they give me a clean finish, this is a success. Like, Utami, like, she has really flourished in this role as champion in a way that I did not think was going to happen when she won the championship in November. I thought it was too early, and she kept having matches that said, "Shut up, James, shut up, James, shut up, James." But now, like, the poise and presence on a higher level than it was before when she even became the champion. Once you see this new gear, you'll be like, okay, I understand why James feels this way. Like, this, like, she's not going to be...
Did you see the interview she did recently?
You sent the one that you sent to me? Yes. And this is what I'm talking about with, like, the poise, like the roses when she came out. Like, I think she started in November when she actually won the title, or right before. And I thought it was a cool touch as well. But, like, you know, she got into Stardom because of into wrestling because of EO, and, like, to see, like, you see some of the EO presence in her, and, like, obviously she's still kind of shy and everything, but, like, she's growing into the role very well, and, like, the match she's having is, like, on par with, like, any other previous champion, or good enough to be on par with any other previous champion in Stardom. Where it's like, it's not a problem. Like, is she as big a star as Tam or Julia or Mayu? No, I just don't think it matters. I think that's eventually going to come. Whether if it's not immediately, like, by the time she's champion again, she'll be there.
Hey, and she's actually getting the main event this time. So, like, in that interview, she said she was depressed and drinking and crying at home and thinking this would be different if Mayu was actually the champion. But she's, you know, had great performances since then. So I think she's going to be excited to actually close it out. And she gets to fight Shuri. Man.
I think the thing with... okay, so she won the belt in November at the November pay-per-view. And then at the December pay-per-view, she was in the main event against Momo, right? And then obviously, you know, it's the biggest show in Stardom's history. You're the Red Belt champion. You would like to be in the main event, but there was no story for her there, and whatever match she was going to have got blown up. Like, had it been Kairi, maybe she does main event. But ended up being Kamitani, and, you know, like, the best story was her versus her tag team partner, so it ended up being what it was, and she had a great match. The last one's the one where I'm just like, that was stupid, because you had to be in Utami faction member betrayal thing, and you had the retirement thing at the end of it, and then they said, nah, never mind it, let's put Himeka and Micah in a tag match against Shuri and Julia. I didn't like that. I didn't like the title change for that. Like, granted, I'm wrong because these Shuri and Julia tag defense have fucking gone off, but at the time, it's like, I like the spot all four of them were at. Once you change that status quo, now you kind of have to look at this Cinderella tournament, and, like, I think Kamitani's going to win the Cinderella tournament, but it makes sense for her to win. Man,
Donna Del Mondo came to dominate.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, you took the titles off the people that were you trying to establish, like, and they're not going to Cinderella tournament. Like, I think that's kind of stinks. But back to Shuri and Utami, like, I just can't wait. I just can't wait for a few hours from now when this thing, like, I almost said tipped off like it's a basketball game. But, like, once this bell ring is on, like, they're going to kill it. I'm interested to see, like, I guess...
I think Big U's going to win.
Yeah.
I think Big U's going to keep the belt.
Yeah. And, I mean, it makes sense, because you look at the Cinderella tournament, the three people that have the only shot to really win it, sorry, Unagi, but two of them are just natural rivals for Utami. So, like, if Himeka wins the Cinderella tournament, she's going to face Utami. If Micah wins the Cinderella tournament, she probably wants another shot at the title at the red belt against Utami. Kamitani, if she wins it, she's going to face Tam, but, like, because he just fought Utami. So, like, we'll see what happens. Like, I'm trying to figure out what her next opponent is after Shuri. Maybe it's Julia. Maybe they wait for Julia to win the Grand Prix to get to that point. I don't know, but either I'm just focused on this match right now. And then if you put it on Shuri, she can wrestle anyone. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
The tournament next, so we got Unagi versus Micah, and then Kamitani versus Himeka.
Yeah.
You know, it is romantic to think about the teammates facing each other in the finals, but something tells me that's not going to happen.
Yeah, because of all of the like we mentioned, Shuri and Utami being linked in all these trios and tag matches on these house shows, on these Road to shows. Tam and Kamitani have been linked to each other. And they've gone back and forth and draws and laying each other out and all that kind of stuff. And, like, it's almost like they were planning to have Kamitani win the Cinderella tournament this year. The Kairi thing fell through for the March show, so they had to pull Kamitani into that. And then, like, after that, they were like, let's go back to our plans of having her win Cinderella tournament and face Tam. And then it kept getting delayed. So now, like, her moment isn't, like, on this pay-per-view. It's actually, you know, winning the tournament. And then, like, at this pay-per-view, I think it's in a month or whatever else. I think it's actually on July 4th. Then she'll face Tam. And that's what it seems like. Like, I'm good with any of the three winning between Himeka, Micah, and Kamitani. If they put it on Unagi, I'm like, I don't know what y'all are doing. Like...
Yeah, I'll go with Saya Kamitani as well. Like, I think she did very well in a red belt match, and then it's like natural to move her over to the other belt. Like, if she failed at one challenge, and then you can kind of just put her here, and then, you know, you figure it out. Right.
And another thing about it with Kamitani is, like, she has been a lot more consistent, like, since since that Red Belt match. I don't know if it was something that match went off and like she had a confidence boost or what, but like her consistency is, I no longer worry and cringe about her going to do spots and is going to be botched and wins, and then all of a sudden like she goes for a flip dive over the top and like she somehow like gets caught on the rope and then like her shoulders and neck hit the apron on the corner on outside. Like I don't worry about that anymore. But yeah, so you know, it will be fun though to see like Mike and Emeka just, because they weren't in the Grand Prix, they were in different blocks, so it would be fun to see them eventually. But maybe that's for later down the line, like 2 years from now. One of them is a red or white belt champion. So
we also got this WCW Battle Bowl match. Full War.
Is that what it is? I don't remember the Battle Bowl. What are the rules for the Battle Bowl?
So like WCW Battle Bowl, you have random tag team partners like team up, and then like it was like a battle royal like too, and I don't know, it was fucking weird. Yeah, it's way back there, but I just know random tag team partners.
Oh well, wait, that's the where's one match you're missing? The are you talking about the Survivor Series match, or are you talking about like the 3-way? That's
when they mixing up all the partners.
Well, that's that. Well, let's get to this match first.
Oh, okay. I skipped it. The match. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. So let's get to
Stars versus Oedo Tai.
Yeah. So they have been feuding with each other since January, Rich. January. It stopped going into the Budokan Hall show, and then it picked back up again. And the last pay-per-view, they had the same exact match, same stipulation. 5 versus 5, faction versus faction. The last person pinned or submitted, last person that loses has to join the other faction. Has to join Oedo Tai. If Oedo Tai had lost, Stars would have said, you're just deserted. You're in exile. So, in the last pay-per-view match, Saya Ida, Giant Saya, tore ACL. Jungle is not back yet, even though I think she's coming back relatively soon. She was at the Hannah Memorial Show. She took a bump. To replace the bodies, they brought back Kaguma. Kaguma is like 2013 to 2015 Stardom. Like she basically like left as like Momo and Jungle came into Stardom. Like she's of that, like she's from like the dojo class with like Azumi. She was a high speed champion. She was a good wrestler, but she was like 16 when she left, so she was only but so good. I've seen her and known of her because like she like when people would retire, she would show up and bear gifts and in the ring and hug people. Everyone's like, oh, that's Kaguma, okay. And then you look her up on the wiki or whatever else. So I've seen a couple of her matches. She was good for her age. Now she's back. She's 23. I
was gonna say, what is she, 19 now? Like,
yeah, she's 23. She's on that. Like, she's basically like on the like her Risa Hoshiki program, where you go away for six years and then you're 23.
Please come back, Arista.
So what was I gonna say? Yeah, so. The thing about her is, she has put on weight since she has been gone from Stardom. She had 2 matches, since she's been back. No, 3 matches since she's been back. She can still move around the ring very well, so that's not a concern or anything else. I just think the only concern really is for, Rust or whatever else. I think, this match is going to be choreographed, just like all these other multi-man matches and whatever else, or multi-person matches in Stardom, so I'm not concerned about that. What I am concerned about is you just did the stipulation. And also the 5th person to fill out to get the 5 is Rin Kadokura from Marvelous, because Rin got into wrestling because of Mayu. So like that Stars, and then the 5 from Oedo Tai. My concern is, let's say Stars were to win, because last time. Stars lost the Clown, lost Yoneyama. 50-50, if Stars were to win, who on Oedo Tai would you want to be in Stars? Given that half the roster is people that turned on Mayu to go to Oedo Tai. Do you have answers?
The only person that I would want is Death, but
definitely
the only person I would want is Death or maybe Konami, but yeah.
Okay.
But obviously, you're not going to do it with Konami, so
yeah, because that would be like, oh yeah, just the really good wrestler, like get her away from like the worst faction, get her away.
Yeah.
Like if they like, it's already hard enough when it was just B and Konami there. Then it's like they're gonna lose B and Konami in like a month. Or a month and a half. That's really rough. Yeah, man. Match should be good. Last match was like a 3.5 star match. Super fun, action packed. I expect more of the same, but there's really no real stakes for me in this match except for like.
Hey, man. I don't know. Look, man, Mayu versus the Factory here. Like move this shit on, bro.
Yeah. Like, what would be the most interesting result? Like, Mayu goes to Oedo Tai and is now Starlight Kid's show, or Starlight Kid moves
She's
on.
a slave. No, like I mean,
nah, she won't be a slave. Look, okay, the clown is a slave because she's so low in the card. But like, if Mayu or Starlight Kid were to become Oedo Tai, like, is their faction now?
Look,
they can't.
Starlight Kid wearing all black now. What?
I've seen it before. Halloween show 2019. She's actually a good heel. I wouldn't do it because I wouldn't do that because like I'm trying to make money here. I'm trying to sell merch. But have you seen Starlight Kid's new shirt?
No.
It's actually hard. I'll send it to you. Shirt's raw. It's almost like it reminds me of like a lot of those Rey Mysterio shirts. Of the mask or whatever else, but I'll send it to you in a second. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I guess now we can get to the Battle Bowl stuff you were talking about a second ago.
Yeah, 3-way randomized tag battle. So
yeah,
Julia, Natsupoi, Momo Watanabe, Azumi, Tam, and Mina Shirakawa. So what the fuck happens here?
So I'm assuming they had different stuff planned, obviously, but they all got screwed up because of the stops for Cinderella tournament multiple times. And so they came up and we looked up and we're like, okay, we have to do Shuri versus Utami. We've been doing this for months. Tam doesn't have who would have been her title challenger because wasn't crowned yet. And then they said, let's do a triple threat tag match, and then like let's randomize it. So and then like what do? They're gonna do something I'm gonna hate. They're going to have Tam and Julia tagging together.
Are we about to see if they can coexist?
so that neither one of them can get beat. I'm almost 100% sure that's gonna happen. I'm almost 100% sure that's gonna happen.
Yo, Tam and Julia, new team on you boys. Are they? Will they? Oh no, they won't have two matches. But I say, will they be eligible to be drafted in the Social Suplex draft as a tag team next year?
You dumb. Yeah. So
gonna be some rough tags right there. So some chops for tags.
Yeah, I mean, and they'll probably be like, well, we did it with Tam and Arisa in the Tag League 2019, so watch them have these awkward exchanges where they body slam each other on top of each other for offense and stuff.
Man,
and
they're going to have Natsupoi team up with Azumi. Is this what they're going to do?
I can see that. Like, either way, regardless of whatever's... I trust all 6 people in this match. So, like, whatever way they split these people up, like they could do Julia versus Momo because they hate each other's guts now too. So, like I'm imagining, like basically it's either it's going to be Julia with Tam or Julia with Momo. All the awkwardness ensues. They could do this. They could do Momo and Julia who hate each other. They could do Tam and Natsupoi who hate each other.
Oh yeah, they can do that too. Yeah.
And then they just put like Momo with Mina because they had a match at the last pay-per-view as well. So it could just be like all your recent rivals and matches with each other from last pay-per-view, just all y'all tag up together against each other. Like I can see that happening.
Azumi just hanging out like, man, oh y'all drama, man. Like, oh y'all just drama.
All of y'all got drama. I just want to come out here and wrestle really fast and be awesome. But yeah, like we'll see. Like I don't know what this is a nothing match. Like there's no stakes. There's nothing of it. Just the fact that like it's a cool visual and they're gonna have a good ass match. Like there's nothing to it as far as like what it mean. What does it mean? It means nothing. It means nothing.
That's really it though, right?
Yeah.
Or is there's a pre-show match? It's Hina versus Rena versus Lady C.
Yes.
So
Lady C, who has graduated from trash to mediocre. Congratulations to her. She can now be carried to good 6-minute matches, which is back in November. I did not see this happening for her this soon. So I would say happy for her. And I think this is where she gets her first win. I think she gets her first win on this pay-per-view right here, beating one of the two-handed twins.
Man.
But, we talked about it, 7 matches. I trust...
And this is tomorrow.
Or tonight. Yeah.
Tonight. Okay, the show will be done by the time we wake up in the morning.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Well, by the time you wake up, I'm staying to watch it. I've already called Bank of America. I've already told them to unblock my card so I can pay our fine friends in Japan. And
this man has took a bean to ensure he will not be sleeping. Oh my god, this man is rolling.
So. No, but I will be up to watch it. Show starts at 3, or no, the pre-show starts at 2:45, like that dark match. So I'll be up to watch it.
Man.
But on Monday we'll review all of the stuff from this show and from Takeover, and it should be a really good weekend of pro wrestling, regardless of how they got there.
Man. Yeah, man. So I guess it's almost time for Friday Night Dynamite, which is, man, I can't lie, man. It's a struggle to be up this late. Like, the show starts at 10, and, like, it's cool. It's like, oh, shit, that first hour, it's like, hell yeah. And then, like by the time, like, 11:15 comes, you're like, yo, it's fucking late, like, on the low. Like, what the fuck? Like, so, yeah. I can't wait till they're out of that time slot and back in their normal flow of things.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you wanna drop to the people?
Check out my new music video. Think about it. Check. Trying to think. The Matt Cardona and Nick Gage angles they're doing are awesome.
Oh, they are. That's
yes,
cool.
Like, so Nick Gage was having a match. Cardona came out dressed like a druid, right? But instead of like. He was like moving like he was Moxley. He was doing that shoulder roll thing and all that goofy shit. And then he hits him with the Death Rider, and then like the crowd goes ape shit because they think it's Moxley. Fucking Cardona pulls the mask off, and then like everybody's like going through stages of grief. Like I can't believe this motherfucker done got me. Boo! And it's like real heat. Apparently Nick Gage has attacked Cardona during one of his major figure podcast shows, like a live show he was doing. So,
wait, was it like really wait? He attacked him in his home, or
no? He was doing a live show, and Nick Gage attacked him at the show. So who knew? A hot summer feud, Nick Gage and Matt Cardona. And, like it actually sounds like they're doing pro wrestling,
right? So
they're booking angles and shit.
And so this is for GCW, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So when is the match expected?
So it's GCW Homecoming Night 1, whenever that is.
So I'm assuming that's 24th. Like June, July or something. Oh, July 4th. Okay.
July 24th.
Okay. Yo, bro, everybody's starting up like July. Like,
yeah.
Everybody. Like,
this is it. We're ready.
Like OTT, like their first show back, I think, is the 11th. WWE shows start like beginning of July. Like, when does AEW start back with crowds on the road?
I think the first week of July, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, half the country, or close to half the country, is fully vaccinated.
It's about time for me to. It's been about 3 months since I had it, so it's about time for me to get poked. Can't wait. I had to figure out how to do that. So, yeah,
I'll holler at you offline, but like, they have a place where you just pull up, like catch it, get vaccinated in your car on the drive-through. So that's where I got my second dose in a drive-through. Not a drive-through like I'm in a Checkers drive-through, but like, or a McDonald's drive-through, but like this, like it was a YMCA. They had like a bunch of lines, or a big maze of lines of people to pull up and stop and answer questions and all that kind of stuff for getting vaccinated, and then they like stuck you in the car, and they hand you your vaccination passport.
So I'm going to run our card down one more time for those of you for the Social Suplex Fantasy Draft. If I can just find it real quick. So our final card is
compelling.
In our main event, our main event, Kenny Omega versus Walter. John Moxley versus Isaiah Swerve Scott in a Hell of War match. First Blood, no DQ ambulance. Johnny Gargano versus Tetsuya Naito. Darby Allin versus Pete Dunne in an I Quit match. Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara versus MJF and Wardlow in a grudge tag team match. Rey Mysterio versus Ricochet, a Lucha Libre 2 out of 3 falls match. Tyler Bate versus Bandito, a big strong boy match. Mayu Iwatani versus Thunder Rosa. Rhea Ripley versus Meiko Satomura, the new NXT UK Women's Champion, and a Survivor Series match between the Street Profits and Top Flight against Imperium and Ciampa and Thatcher. So go ahead, find the link, vote for us. We don't want no bullshit this year. We want the crown. We want the gold.
Oh, so speaking of the gold, the Dusty voice, so I was thinking about
6 years since Dusty Rose's death.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was thinking of actually. Okay. Well, I was thinking of while watching NXT from this week, the Go Home Show, about the $1 million championship match, or the $1 million man belt. I was thinking to myself, like, if Cody wasn't such a mark for his daddy's wrestling, like he'd be furious that he wasn't involved in this ladder match. this he's fighting for an 80s prop. He did that at All In.
That's funny.
Yeah. I hope that probably not, because we are talking about Stardom right now, but I hope that like Floyd, an hour and 6 minutes into this show here, so he feel like I listened for an hour and that's how, and then you throwing shots at my guy. Yeah, gotta give you one. You get one, at least one. Well, that's it of the show, y'all. Thanks for listening. Be sure to rate us on whatever app you're using to listen is with. Go to the red circle and hit us with a donation. I also dropped a link in the description for the to vote for One Issue Radio for the Social Suplex cards or fantasy cards. Also go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Social Suplex and pick up some official Social Suplex Podcast Network merchandise. The newest shirt is O's on top. Rich, I did not mention this, but Stardom, after Saya tore ACL, obviously vacated the Futures belt, and they're having a Future tournament. And the two people that are in the final are Mina and Unagi. This is a junior. This is a
what?
junior.
Hold on, what?
Right.
Hold on, what?
Futures.
Are you telling me? Belt. Are you telling me like the mid generation? They put the mid generation, like, you know, the 28-year-olds, well, the ones that's supposed to appeal to them, like they in this match?
No, because remember the rules for the Future belt was always, at first until recently changed, was either under 20 or 2 years or less of experience. And then when Saya won it, they changed it to 3 years. So that still includes Unagi and Mina. So even for a young girl, young boy's belt, we got O's on top. So I just wanted to bring that up. O's on top. I saw that last night and I was like, This is some American wrestling scam shit. They are both 30. So
Kenny Omega versus Moose tomorrow night. It's going to be in Daly's place. So
wait, is pay-per-view?
Or Impact Plus show.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I'm sure there's a way to get it. Impact Plus.
I'll check out. I'll look out for it if I hear good reviews from, which probably will be, because they've been basically running around each other for a few months now. Oh yeah, to finish closing out the show. Check out the other shows on the network. On this network, you get One Nation Radio, you get Keepin It Strong Style, you get the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Podcast, you get Grown and Watch This Shit, you get the Great Consequences Podcast, you get 8-Bit Suplex, you get All Things Elite, and you get Great Match Generator. So check it out. Tap in.
Hey, new interview Danny had with the author of the 100 Bloodiest Cage Matches. I'm gonna check that out.
Was it Josh Smith?
Phil Schneider.
Oh
no, apparently not. So another gentleman named Phil Schneider. So check that out.
I know what to get Josh for Christmas. Yeah. So thanks for listening, y'all. Later.
Peace.